Hey again guys, Aaron from Sega here. We're showing off the Wii U version of Sonic Lost World, which comes out October 29th. Right here, as the game begins, you can notice this is the tried and true level that we showed you at E3, but we made a few changes. First off, you see that little question mark up top. That's our tutorial system. I can tap that on the gamepad to activate the tutorial anytime I want. You might also notice a few other changes as I go through this level, just little polished things we've added through the game. Of course, you can adjust Sonic's run and his control speed. That's one of the biggest elements and features of the game. The right trigger lets me run, so there's walking, there's running. The left trigger lets me spin dash, and I can rev that up, just like I could in the older games. And you can just keep spin dashing as long as you want, provided you know when to jump. So you gotta watch out, because spin dashing into spikes, generally not a good thing. As I run through here, I have lots of different options for courses to go through in the level. I can go this way and avoid the spike balls of death, and save these little woodland critters that are, look at those guys, look at them, they just wanna get out of there. Let's help them out. There we go. One batch save, there's two. In the top left, you see that number there. It's actually telling me how many little woodland critters I have rescued. I'm just gonna go on a woodland critter rescuing rampage right here. There we go, and save all those guys. Likewise, destroying enemies will also free the little guys from their robotic capsules. And as I'm running through here, it is important to remember that there are lots of different paths. So I could drop down here. You can see a part of the level down there that I could fall to. I'm gonna stay up here and follow this path. The bell that you guys have seen before, you know that by kicking that around, it turns into a red star ring, which are collectibles in the Wii U version of the game. So I want to grab the red star rings. And right there, I just kind of let go of the run trigger, and it comes to almost a dead stop, which is really, really nice. This is what I'm talking about, just like that. That's the level of precision you have now, thanks to the run trigger in Sonic. It's a giant, giant help when it comes to controlling his speed. Another big change we made, a little change, but an important one. Notice what the camera does right here when I walk behind a wall. Instead of trying to cut around and get to the side, the camera actually fades through the wall so that I can see where Sonic is at. And though it's a small thing, it's something that really, really helps keep that camera fluid and give you as a player a lot more control. There are many types of levels in the game. This is one of our three-dimensional type levels, so I can run around this and see all the different paths here. We're gonna take this path because it has spikes and death and it looks just lovely. And as I'm jumping past the spikes, the springs will take me to the very end of the level where, just like the old Genesis games, we have a giant capsule of animals. So I'm going to show you one more level really quickly to demonstrate some other elements of the game. And that level is going to be our candy theme level. Some of you guys may have seen this before. If you haven't seen it since we showed it to you the first time at E3, I want you to take note of something we did in the very beginning of it. So we showed you guys this level, and it's called Desert Ruins, and everyone was like, well, hello, it's actually filled with dessert. You spelled dessert wrong, Sega. And we said, okay, tell you what, just for you guys, we're going to put a little something in here. There it is right there, our grammatical S correction. So all of you English majors, I hope you appreciate that. Actually, that was me in college. So little things like that, I think, add a lot to the game. And it's kind of nice when we have moments where we can go back and either adjust the game or kind of add those little puns and polish as we're going through. This level, as you already noticed, is a 2D level, right? Looks nothing like what I was just playing. I can use the kick attack on enemies like that to kick an enemy to another enemy. And some enemies are going to actually require me to use that kick attack to get forward to the next part of the level. Likewise, I can kick enemies just like that, and I can use the parkour system here to run up these little sections, or I can just jump over them entirely. Pay no mind to the giant donuts and delicious sweets in the background. They will only make you hungry. There's a secret up there in the top left. You can see it. I've showed it off in some other demos, so we're going to skip that for now. This game features 6 brand new enemies. They're called the Deadly Six. Sonic and Eggman are actually going to be teaming up to fight them. Tails, of course, not a big fan of that plan, but what can you do when 6 guys, very evil guys at that, have shown up and they can control all of Eggman's mechs? So that is the premise for part of the story. The entire game takes place on this giant floating continent, which is what you see in the background, and that's kind of how we got away with massive scoops of ice cream floating in the sky. Sonic games have always kind of had some really interesting levels and mechanics to them. Say, for example, bouncing off of deadly truffles. And I say deadly because I'll show you here. If I run into these truffles and I'm not bouncing like that, they'll mess me up. And just like that, I got to watch out for those. There we go. You do have a double jump. The double jump, as in previous games, is the jump button twice. But we noticed a lot of you guys said, man, I want to double jump, right? But sometimes I get that lock on for the homing attack. But what if I don't want a homing attack? Now, notice that? Now you just push the B button instead of the A button, and you will always do a double jump. Very small thing, but again, a very important thing that gives you as the player more control over Sonic and makes the game much more manageable. And finally, as we get to the very end, behold the giant, delicious stacks of pancakes in the background. This really is the worst level to demo whenever you're hungry at a convention like New York Comic Con. And finally, as we get to the end there, we bounce on that spring, and voila. The game has a 2-player co-op and competitive mode. I can play through the entire game with someone else as a friend. And if we want to throw down, we have some special levels for that too. It comes out October 29th exclusively to Nintendo Wii U and 3DS.